Can actually see it here better. The Whipclaw augment, accumulating Whipclaw, hitting 3 enemies will grant 10% stacking bonus to other Whipclaws based on a decay of 10 seconds, obviously, between the hits. Kind of looks like a pretty decent augment, and the reason I'm showing it here rather than in the syndicates where you get this from is based upon the, well, it comes from Red Veil and Steel Meridian, and you can actually see that on the screen where you can actually get it from. But of course, that is the empty stacks as you get it. Once you actually level this up, it will be 35% stacking damage bonus, but the decay stays exactly the same. It doesn't go up and it doesn't go down, which is why I thought we would start by showing it empty, because it's kind of weird to have the decay stay exactly the same and not once maxed. Maybe that should have gone down, even if it went down to 9 seconds, or maybe it increased. It doesn't. It's just the base damage that this adds, or the stacking damage bonus, goes to 35% from this thing being empty, being 10%. So after a bit of playing with this, yes, you have to hit the 3 enemies to be able to get this thing to start working, but without it, you can see this thing is maxing out at 620 with those crit hits. Barely. The biggest problem seems to come with the fact that because it takes so many hits to actually take an enemy down, yes, this thing, as you can see, every time it hits an enemy, the glow red, it does hit a lot of enemies now, which is kind of the ability saving feature, but you will probably run out of power before you actually kill enough enemies that will justify this augment, which is a bit of a shame because I was really hoping it was going to be, well, let's equip it first before I get that far. Now that I've actually put it in here, this is of course the second time round, you can see in the top right the percentage is going up with every hit. Need more enemies. It has to hit more than one enemy though. If you don't have enough enemies, that will not go to 350%. But if I quickly jump up here, you can actually see the rate of decay. There it goes. It's actually quite quick. But this augment made her first ability what it always should have been. Just way more powerful. You can see it's now hitting for 2,116. Now it's at the 35% or the 350%, which it actually goes to in game. It's actually dealing enough damage that these level 155s, well, they just don't last that long. You will actually run out of power still really quickly, so a good melee weapon will work probably just as good, which is where her first ability comes into a, well, it's good for knocking the enemies down. Then just basically shoot them, and yeah, I know, bad gun. It's not the best of guns, but the big problem with this comes with the crowd control basis on this, which sucks because I really wanted to love this augment, I really did, but unless you have enough enemies around, you can see in the top right, this whole time it's been going down because there's not enough new enemies to hit, whereas if I come up here, back to 350%. So it's now doing the top damage again, but while I was down here taking out all of these, no new enemies means that, well, it starts to go down, so it just, its decay is, you can see it's already going down again. Its decay is just too much. It kind of kills the augment and its usability. I'm hitting these enemies and, well, if it wasn't for the Venari here taking the armor off, I think I may have had a problem actually taking them out. So even though I really wanted to love this augment, and it does make her first ability way better than it actually was, it's just, nope, wrong button, meant to hit simulate. It just doesn't seem to be enough. It just, this decay was too high, and I don't know. I really did want to love this, but in all honesty, a good melee weapon instead of using that spot for an augment would kind of just be better. I don't have a melee weapon. I was leveling up a secondary when I started doing this, and well, it's just left me with the whip here as my melee, and that's what I meant by, yep, I'm out of power, which is the other big downside to this augment. Yes, it fixes her first ability, but really does leave her still suffering badly with the lack of power and, sadly, just lack of damage on that first ability. The rest of her is perfectly fine, but Whipclaw, it's just not the kind of ability it really could have been. So we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching. I think that's everyone dead. No, far from it. And I'll catch yous next time. I've still got no power. Time to run away.